the Pythagorean theorem. Alright, so we can start from the formula a squared plus b squared equals c squared. We can rearrange our formula depending on what side of the triangle we're looking for. If we're looking for a, we're going to use a squared equals c squared minus b squared. If we're looking for b, b squared equals c squared minus a squared. And if we're looking for c, c squared equals a squared plus b squared. Now what we have to remember, we always have to start at the 90-degree angle. So in this case, for example, number 1, the 90-degree angle is there. We're going to put our pencil there and we're going to cross the road. So when we cross the road, I'm going to put a C. Cross the road. So we're going to have to identify all the sides. So I said cross the road is here, and we're going to put our A and our B here. For this part, it doesn't matter where you put your B and your A. The most important is where you put your C. The C is the longest side of a triangle, of the right triangle, and it's called an hypotenuse. So in this case, if I look, I have a value for my A and I do have one for my B. So that means I'm looking for my C. If I'm looking for C, I'm going to be using this formula. So I'm going to write formula C squared equals A squared plus B squared. C squared equals, then we're going to take the value that I have for A, in this case is 0.5. I put my power of 2 plus my B over here, 1.2 to the power of 2. C squared. Now we have to do our exponents first. 0.5 to the power of 2 means 0.5 times 0.5. So that gives me 0.25. Plus 1.2 to the power of 2 means 1.2 times 1.2. And that gives me 1.44. We're still writing C squared equals. Now we're going to be adding 0.25 plus 1.44 gives me 1.69. And now, if we look, in my triangle, I only want a C, but here I have C squared. To get rid of the power of 2, we need to square root it, and we need to square root it on each side. So C equals 1.3. We're going to write it here, 1.3 centimeters. And I said that the hypotenuse is the longest side. So I need to just take a few seconds and verify 1.3 is bigger than 1.2 and 1.3 is bigger than 0.5. Example number 2. So we always start on the right 90-degree angle, and we're going to mark our sides of our triangle. So we put our pencil there, we're going to cross the road. Cross the road starts with C. We're going to put our A and our B. So C is my hypotenuse. It's the longest side of my triangle. So we're looking for C. We're going to be using this formula again. C squared equals A squared plus B squared. C squared equals, my A is 2.8 to the power of 2, plus my B is 5.6 to the power of 2. C squared equals, first thing we need to do our exponents. So 2.8 times 2.8 gives us 7.84, and 6.6 times 6.6 gives us 31.36. We need to add, so 7.84 plus 31.36 is going to give us 39.2. And our last step, because I have my exponent, I need to square root. C equals 6.26, but we can round it off at 6.3. So 6.3 meters. And I said my hypotenuse is the longest side, so 6.3 is bigger than 2.8, and 6.3 is bigger than 5.6. So we're good. Last example. Start at the 90-degree angle. We're going to mark our sides. So put our pencil there. We're going to cross the road. Cross the road. My C is here. I'm going to put my A here and my B. So when I look at what I have a value for B, I have a value for C, but I have nothing for A. So that means I'm looking for A, and I'm going to be using this formula. So we're going to write A squared equals C squared minus B squared. A squared equals, we're going to use our C, it's 2.5 to the power of 2, minus B, we have 2.4 to the power of 2. First thing we need to do our exponent. So 2.5 times 2.5 gives us 6.25. Then we have to make sure we're using a subtraction. 2.4 to the power of 2 means 2.4 times 2.4 gives us 5.76. A squared equals, we're going to subtract 0.48. We need to get rid of the exponent, so square root, A equals 0.7. So now, just to make sure we did everything right, we said that C is the hypotenuse, is the longest side. So 0.7 is smaller than 2.5, and 2.4 is smaller than 2.5.